Well, Realmers, we're going to answer the question, have Kabam saved Marvel Realm Champions? Now, for a lot of you that follow the channel, I have not uploaded on the channel since last Friday, and I will be coming back to upload more frequently on here, but the biggest problem for me is where Kabam were actually going to go and answer the players' frustrations and actually look to update the game. And that's the thing, like, there's a lot of stuff, that content I've put out, but the current meta is changing, so a lot of the videos, well, how the game will function, it will be a dramatic change, and that's going to be a key factor. But in this video, we are going to be looking over the release notes for 2.0. This is going to be where the fundamental changes are going to come in, and whether or not, again, it goes back to have and will Kabam save Marvel Realm Champions. And look, let's not going to beat around the bush here. The game wasn't as popular, and there was a massive tail off from December with this game. And a lot of stuff you would have thought would actually be in the game now that have been announced for these release notes coming in. And that's the thing. Don't know when the update's coming in. Hopefully it's going to say that, you know, what is coming down. So the table of contents, it is now being put to new story event, new features, arena deathmatch improvements, which is good. I love arena deathmatches for grabbing components, but there needs something changing with it, just revamp it up. Arena conquest changes. Matchmaking has got to be a thing. It's ass at the moment, and as well loads of things with champion balances and as well the gear changes, especially with synergy tuning. That's one of the key things. No announcement for any new champions, and maybe like having one champion every 2 to 3 months would be good, but Kabam should spend time hyping said champion up. Getting players around the idea of going, look, you're going to receive Thor as a champion to grind out for in March, but start the hype, say end of January through to the foreseeable month. It could be just better for getting players going, look, new champions are coming. It just gets the hype for the rollout. I think that's probably a good idea. I would say to Kabam to do something like that. But yeah, look, have Kabam save this game. Let's start with new story event. The biggest thing, as we said, the biggest problem that we experienced as players is that if you're not into arena conquest, you need something extra. If you are not into the arena side of things, then you need something additionally to that. But you know, you need something as well on the back burner that you can grab resources and other stuff. So what Kabam's saying, has discovered strange celestial weapons beneath the surface of the battle world and has assembled a crack team of allies to unearth these valuable caches. Caches have been located below the Kilseum, so it's up to you to defend Stark celestial weapons. Oh God, against celestial empowerment. So it's Stronghold. The new story event is Stronghold. Fine. Now, as I don't know if a lot of you know, I spend a lot of time playing with my friends on the game, Mike and Kazar, so Mike and Dan. So the thing that always comes up in discussion is the idea that you can, as a 3, go against PvE, as opposed to you going up against 3 PvP versus 3 PvP. It adds an extra dynamic to that. Or like a raid-based system, like, you know, the things that Marvel Future Revolutions are going to bring into the mobile gaming sphere, which, look, other games have something similar, but, you know, this is this could have been the first Marvel game to introduce something like that, and it may be a case they missed the mark with it. But meanwhile, Apocalypse is insulted by the insinuation the other Barons that he has not been adding to the other stuff. Has been using stolen celestial weapons. Why not prove them right? This month's event, Grave of the Celestials, reveals a powerful new weapon for Storm and Iron Legionnaire, an ancient celestial weapon variant for Black Panther, Hulk, Web Warrior, yada yada yada. Okay, I'm interested in that bottom part. I'm just kind of this thing about what they call the new story event. The same thing with the Red Dawn thing. Is that how story event content is? And if that is the case, then that, yeah, I'm not going to say that's misleading, but it's that that's the problem that happened with Red Dawn. If people think that it's going to be one or the other, what is it? I guess this is the thing with what the world quests are. So, world quest, a new feature. World quests are a brand new narrative-driven PvE experience in Realm of Champions. You'll be taken to every corner of the battle to pursue in pursuit of aiding barons who need your help. In our first foray into world quests, we'll be working with Stark Prime Apocalypse to uncover the secrets of the ancient celestial technology Grave of the Celestials. So, 2-part event taking place over 4 weeks. Team up with the fellow summoners. I like that. overcome new adaptoid resistance and special status effects in each mission. These unique attributes will require that you think strategically and communicate with your teammates for maximum efficiency. The thing is, as long as, and I should have been more clear about what I was talking about with the 3 people raiding and stuff, it's like, so that it's not like Stronghold and it's not like Onslaught, but has something of a different narrative, like you're moving through a certain quest to then fight off certain things and go to the next thing, and then fight a certain quest to reach the end boss. I think that's what I'm kind of referring to by that. A little bit of a different of a narrative, and it feels like more open worldy, and that's what I'm hoping that these world quests might be. But in any case, moving on. For example, Hive Immunity, Iron Legionnaire Adaptoids champions are indestructible until all allied Adaptoids are defeated. Oh, okay. Oh, right. Oh, right. Okay. Strengthen your champions wisely, because depending on the world quests, some champions may be ineligible to enter the... Oh, great. In normal difficulty, more inexperienced summoners can still experience the story and earn rewards, while more hardened realm veterans can challenge themselves for greater rewards in the heroic difficulty. Okay, that's interesting enough. Hopefully there's a new tier level of build with gear, and also they've kind of like, it's doable rather than it's kind of like it's hard. Because let's face, Strikes and Onslaught, I think it is it's good, but you have to have somebody that knows what they're doing, has the right gear for it. Which, if they've done the nerfs in place, then that could be a bit of a problem to do. But we'll see what happens. Leaderboards. I mean, yeah, leaderboards kind of cool, adds into that competitive nature to it. I'm sure there's players out there that have asked for it. So it's good to see. And people can, like, you know, flex on one another. Alliance events and improvements. Gather your allies. Good. We're finally doing an alliance-based event. To foster your alliance, be prepared for alliance events. And we're also expanding alliance size from 12 to 18 members. Also, stay tuned to what we're going to do with alliances, because there's some shake-ups I want to do with the alliance situation. Gear shard. This is very important because a lot of players did talk about, and one of the big turn-off points for players were the way that gear is specific to stuff. Like, I've got some really good gear, but it's trash for the stats. The stats don't represent anything I'm using. It's like saying I've got a champion that has a really decent front end attack, heavy attack, and I'm like, right, well, this stats for this is like, it's got, I don't know, say it's a storm one, and it's got a good synergy, but it's got like, it's not got the frozen foes, but it's got some useless stat. I can't really think of anything just off the bat now, but let's just say it's got a useless stat that I'm kind of like, this isn't going to help me on the front end. So this is where this comes in. Gear shards. Former currency, Marvel Roman Champions allows you to better target gear that you want or need for your champions, looking for the last rare item to fully deck out your Black Panther. Earn enough gear shards for specific rarities in order to acquire from the store that guarantee an item that specific rarity. Scrapping uncommon gear will net you rare gear shards, and for now, that's good. That's like the crystal system with MCOC. It's not ideal though, because again, we have the same problem with stats, and that's the thing. That doesn't solve that problem of stats, because yeah, you can have some complete ass stats that you're not able to use in anything whatsoever. Gear shards can also be acquired through alliance events, world quest objectives, daily, weekly objectives, calendar rewards, etc. So it's good. That helps, and I'm happy with those new things. There's a few things I feel that have been missed off. But again, it's like I'm trying to like give my own kind of opinion on where I think the game should go, and this is only to form some competitive nature to what Marvel Future Revolutions is going to be. And the same thing with like Diablo Immortal and other big mobile games releasing this year. A lot of games by Netmarble, especially with this open world element or kind of like open area of movement and exploration, MMORPG type stuff. So the narrative of the game has changed, because this is kind of like MOBA meets MMORPG. So it's like, it's kind of like it's trying to merge into different things without even knowing what it is. So it needs to kind of like define itself a little bit better. But you know, we've got this stuff where arena deathmatch improvements after a tremendous amount of feedback, yada yada yada. We have simplified the mode based on time. Matches will last a maximum of 3 minutes. In order to accomplish this, in the last 30 seconds, more potent power-ups will spawn for you to get your last KOs on enemy players. Okay, cool. In order to combat spawn camping, when spawning, if an enemy is nearby, you'll gain a shield and unstoppable buff for a short period of time. Again, good. To lessen the burden of chasing players around the map, we are implementing a mechanic that acts as sort of a bounty for players with a large number of points. Players that that's it. So if you run, you know you'll get clapped. So that's cool. As an incentive to get back into the fight instead of keeping away from opponents when at low health, health orbs will now cause you to regenerate health over time when picked up. Okay, cool. That's fine. Just change it up, makes it more exciting. I get it. It's a fairly new thing. Right, arena conquest changes. Now, I want to see something about matchmaking personally. I'm glad they're targeting Bodok Rush and Bodok Hugging. And more so for Bodok Rushing. I know we talk about Bodok Hugging, but a lot of the time when you're trying to play at distance, it's a very difficult thing. If there's a lot of kind of like, if there's 3 Black Panthers, you know they're going for a Bodok Rush. But close quarters combat champions become a bit of an issue when it comes to coming close to you. And that is the thing as well. If you're allowing a Black Panther to be so close, then you basically allow yourself to be melted. So you have to create distance. And that's the biggest problem very early on. What you're doing is when you're coming onto the battlefield is you're having a look where the enemies are going. And chances are that then you're like, right, well, they're not staying back. They are coming towards you. So what do? Do you go towards them? Well, no. If you're a ranged champion, you still create distance. I guess the problem that people that have those that have a problem with Bodok Hugging are either those that are playing those close quarter combat champions, or it's a case that they just don't like the range being so close to the Bodok. Anyway, whatever. It is what it is, and it will be changed. So yeah, okay. So when players stay close to the Bodok attack range and poke with ranged attackers without fully engaging until their enemies are significantly weaker than they are. At the end of the day, strategies are going to change. Like, regardless of anything, Kabam, we're going to make these changes, and strategies and how you play the game is going to change. So a lot of the content that I do is going to have to really be tailored for that, especially with the changes that are going to be put in. Although we don't want to remove those strategies altogether, really. We want to lessen their impact on consistently deciding the outcome of the match and add more counterplay. I mean, that's good. It creates a different strategy, but just changes it up. Just changes it up. So we're going to have to, unfortunately, adapt and overcome. So what's changing the Bodok is not knock down. It will knock back opponents if they stay within its attack range for longer than 4 seconds. The control point activates 5 seconds earlier. Point activation delay is reduced by 5 seconds, 15 to 10. And if the control point is active for 10 seconds and nobody from either team has been knocked out, the control point will shrink by 20%. If any member of either team is already knocked out, then the control point activates. The point will immediately shrink by the same, yeah. And the control, right, okay, fine, yeah. Just gotta change the strategy of it. I get it. New weapons. So Storm's Hurricane Flare. Thing is, with new weapons being added in, the way that the old ones are, with Lightning and as well with so many other different champions, weapons that are changing, I have no faith until with these new weapons. No faith at all until they're actually put in and until they've been balanced correctly against the stuff. Because that's the thing. Like the Blizzard Wand, kind of average on damage and what its capabilities are. Lightning Staff, oh god, that's a melter of a weapon. So I need to see what this Hurricane Flail is before it's put in. And the question will be, if it is an OP, like, piece of weaponry, when will Kabam nerf it? Because we're like, what, two and a bit months since the launch, and the Lightning Staff is only something that's being dealt with as of this month. So I like to optimistically think that these new weapons, if they're going to be brought in, are going to be good, and they're going to be fine, they're going to be dynamic, because they're going to be really, really cool. But if they are OP, then they need to be dealt with quicker, if that is indeed the case. However, though, moving on. Hurricane Flail, don't know what it's going to be about. Looking forward to it. Should be nice. Especially with what it does. I'm not going to deep dive this because that's going to be saved for separate videos. Proton Cannon. New shiny piece of Stark Tech is going to be making foes feel the heat. Good. So it's going to have some kind of like incinerate damage or heat damage. So that's nice. The heavy attack, concussive charge, charges up to shoot a single concussive energy blast that deals heat damage and briefly slows enemies. Nice. Hopefully that's as fun as drones, because I love drones. I think that's cool. But now, most important thing is balance changes. Now, I'm not going to go over this too much because I've already like talked about this, about balance changes, about the Book of Ashanti, very various different types of synergies. There's some stuff that I'm not too happy that haven't been properly addressed, and that is really with Black Panther. I don't think Black Panther's been touched yet, and I don't think Hulk's been touched that much, which is disappointing. I kind of feel that should have been a given to be dealt with. Unless Kabam knows something, I don't know. But a lot of the times with certain synergies, especially with Black Panther's Hulk stuff, which Hulk's been dealt with at least on one thing, but yeah, some stuff looks like it's been sorted out, some stuff not. Look, I'll believe it when I see it. I just think that Hulk and Black Panther should have been given more of a treatment with this. And yes, they are being dealt with, but I don't know if it's as much, say, some of the other champions that that are listed. But I did a full video on that one, and we'll have to see when this all goes live. There seems to be some updates, some champion fixes and stuff. I don't think it's going to be that too dramatic. It's just interaction things. There's a lot of little bugs here or there, and general fixes need to be done. Does it say about when all this stuff is going to be addressed? No, it does not. That's definitely a problem, because I want to find out when this update is. I think I saw a rumor that this was meant to be either a week or 2 weeks after this announcement here. So whether or not this is towards the end of the month, starting off March. But what are my final thoughts on this? Well, look, it has to go in sooner rather than later. This is a very frustrating time for the game. It's frustrating because a lot of players wanted to see what Kabam have, what they're going to be putting in, but they wanted to see it, as I did, right at the very beginning. Now, I'm still giving this game 6 months of my time because I do enjoy the game. I love the game. I'm invested in playing the game. But what I'm not invested in is in 2 months after the game's been released that we get no bigger picture of stuff like this. I feel like we are in Magic's limbo and up until this point, and I'm like, everything changes. That all those videos that I've done, I'm even gonna have to consider redoing them because they don't fit the narrative of play. So that could be, that's good news and bad news, that I'm gonna have to redo all my videos again, or most of my videos that are not crystal openings or other stuff. Especially with a lot of new gear coming in, gear changes and other stuff like that. So, we'll have to have a look. But, yeah, some positive stuff here. Some stuff I feel have been missed out, but predominantly it is going in a positive direction. Biggest disappointment about this is matchmaking doesn't look like it's been properly addressed. And matchmaking is a problem at the moment. It's a real problem. Especially when you're trying to build up and go up your battle rating and find yourself going against people that are 1,250 and going, right, I'm going to fight as hard as I possibly can to win this. Fine, you lose. And a lot of the time, yeah, okay, you may lose about, depending on the battle rating, you may lose upwards of between 5 to 10 battle rating, depending where you are. And people will go, oh, I've beat people that are 1,250. And that's great, fantastic. But that's under this current meta. And that's the thing. This current meta is scuffy. You're going up against several different interactions of synergy gear. And it's just ridiculous. You go up against some gear sets that are, again, just ridiculous. So you're there going, right, so my common gear can really take on that epic gear. Or I've got a couple of rare items. No, you'll be fine, you can take them on. And ultimately, it's not the case. But yeah, matchmaking definitely needed to be put into this. It's not, and it's something down the line that needs to be addressed. And that, again, is something that has to be sooner rather than later. This game has already lost a good chunk of players after December. So it needs to be a case that it's then building them back and also making a foothold to say for any new players that you come in and you see the game in its best light. But in any case, me and my floppy hat have taken as much of your time as possible, but I just want to say I'm going to be posting some more videos on the game in the next week or so. I'm kind of looking to see when this new update goes in as to then when do I play, and also then redoing all these guys based on the current meta shift of the game from arena strategies, from gear, and also just interaction and stuff like that. I'm excited for the changes, I really am, and I really want more from Kabam when it comes to creating those things around better matchmaking. Also seeing how the dynamic of the alliances come in, these world quests, which I have high hopes for. So yeah, looking forward to that, and stay tuned to the channel for more content. Have a good one, have a lovely weekend, and it looks positive. But we'll see how things go when the update goes in. Thank you. Bye-bye.